fine, and you?
Oh, I'm fine. Just the winds have been crazy picked up, so um, just in case the call gets dropped, just so you know.
Okay.
All right. So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling better, just sleepy. I don't know. It's like the drugs are contributing to that.
Is it just for? I thought you said you were just taking them for 3 days. Are you taking them longer?
30 days.
Oh, 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's the drugs been making you tired.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like lying all day.
Yeah. Unless you think you're pregnant.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, well, hey, because when you're pregnant, you get kind of like tired, you're exhausted, you just never know.
Well, yeah. Anything can happen.
But you're
Yeah.
you're feeling better aside from being kind of tired.
Yeah, the pain on the back is not there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It used to be very discomforting, so terrible, but it's not there.
Oh, I'm so glad you're that's gone at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we're done talking, I'll look up those drugs again and see if maybe being tired is like a side effect or something.
Yeah, especially the one you talked about, stress or what, something like that. I was told to take just half of it. I'm sure it's contributing because when I take it, I just begin to sleep.
Oh, I think that's the amitriptyline or whatever that is called. It starts with an A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
You might want to think about maybe just taking a quarter of it.
Well, yeah, but it's really very tiny. I don't know how to break it, but I asked me to use a knife and place it on it.
Yeah. Hmm.
So maybe I'll have to take a quarter of it.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to go through all of your report because I couldn't when I emailed it to myself. I couldn't. It came in as a different document, so I had to figure out what kind of document in order to open it. So that took me a little bit of time, and I did, and then I printed it. So I haven't had a chance to actually review it. Um, but why don't I just ask you my normal questions for you first, and then we can go through it, and you can let me know how the session went. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but did you have any surprises with this session at all?
Well, no major surprises. No surprises, but I saw that the sessions are getting interesting. When we think it's dropping, when we think people are dropping, people are getting more committed.
Mm-hmm.
I also had Jackie come up asking if some other people could join.
Oh, wow. It's probably kind of late in the game for them to join. Um, but that would be up to you. It's at your discretion of what you think. As a facilitator there, it's really your decision whether we bring some people new on or not. What do you think?
I'm thinking that we are very far gone into the sessions. We're already in session 9, and bringing somebody, the person might just be blank.
Mm-hmm.
Except, so if we are going to bring in somebody, then it should be somebody that will be in a completely new cohort.
Okay. So that would be, March 2020.
Yeah, I think so. That's
Okay.
preferable.
Okay. But that's good news. That means people are talking about the program, and they're getting wind of it, which I think is really exciting news.
Very, very exciting. And like I said, we are big doing sponsorship. There are a lot of organizations here who don't even sponsor one person.
Wow.
So they're hearing about the sponsorships, and that's pretty exciting.
Hmm.
The medical bill support and so on.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything that you liked about the session?
I like the fact that everybody participated. When we look at the notes here, when you go through them, you see that nearly everybody said something.
Mm-hmm.
There was not dormant and active, contributory.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything that you didn't like?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Nothing that I didn't like.
Is there anything you'd like to see more of or less of?
Like they also said, we want to see everybody. I wouldn't want to see the absences. For example, Brenda traveled and I had no idea. Mirabel also traveled. So it's like I told them about the session a little late when they had already gone on their journeys.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to maybe announce the sessions well ahead of time. Because the session that I held on the 13th, I told them we'll be having a session on 27th. So when we got about 25th, some of them were calling me already for the session that was due for the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would better inform them 2 weeks ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
If they have to travel, or if it's not important for them to travel, they'll have to stay back to attend the session before.
Okay. Do we have a date for the next session?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, it's November 1st. So if you want to give them a 2-week notice, usually it's about like the third weekend or so of the month. So you're going to have to notify them starting, this weekend or so, or next week really, to give them sufficient time. Are you thinking the same thing, like about the third weekend or so, or?
Yeah, the third week will be good.
Okay.
The third Sunday of November will be good.
Third Sunday. I think that is November 24th.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay. All right. So you're basically 3 weeks out from today. It's 20. So it'll be 3 weeks from Sunday, which gives you all next week really to get in touch with who you need to, everyone, to advise them of the next session date. So I think that gives you, does that give you plenty of time, a whole week?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. All right. Now, before we get any more into the session, I want to ask you, how are you doing with these sessions yourself as a facilitator? Forget about the group. How are you doing?
Well, like I said, there are a lot of things I've learned that I'm personally implementing. If you want to give a summary of the sessions without looking at any book, I'll give a very beautiful summary of everything I've learned from March to now, because they are making me in my life. We are not just learning to pass an exam. That's the good thing about it. We are learning to implement in our very own lives. So I'm getting some positive impacts.
That summary would be great if we could have it, by the time Ronnie gets here, so she'll be able to review that, and that'll be a week from Sunday. So, do you think you'll be able to do that by, say, next Sunday or Monday?
I can prepare a summary before the end of next week.
Okay. All right. All right, and that'll and not only what's great about it and what you've learned, but really some of your struggles, some of your challenges.
Yeah.
Because if it's great to hear positive news, but if I don't hear some of your struggles and your challenges, I don't know how to help you better as a facilitator.
Mhm.
You know, because I
Yeah,
don't.
I'd also mentioned that around one of my meals. I said, it's very obvious at the end of the studies we'll put together limitations of the studies, difficulties that we face.
Mhm.
It's but normal and good.
Mhm. Yeah, we usually do that at the end, and we talk about the whole year at a glance, and how can we make it better? How can we make it stronger? You
Mhm.
know, and we would be using the PPCO tool so as not to just get weighted down with all of the challenges and limitations. Let's take a limitation and see how it would be great if it might be just might be a financial thing. It would be great if we had, X and X amount of dollars per session to, make photocopies and whatever, that sort of thing. So you can do that. You can keep track of those things right now. You can give it to me in a summary. You can give that to me in a summary now in order to capture it, as you go. I think that would probably be the best because you don't want to forget anything.
Hello?
Are you there? Are you there?
Yeah, the lines
Okay.
are wavering.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because that's going to be huge in how to create a better program next time you do this next year,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And I imagine having more resource materials available to you. I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, I'm sure the list is long and extensive. I'm sure it is. All right.
Yeah, since it was just our first time, we could not envisage all what we'll be needing. So now
Mm-hmm.
that we've gone through it, we could tell.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Is
I don't know if you would like to have another cohort out of maybe some in some other place in Africa.
I don't know. Why do you know of another place?
Yeah, I've been thinking, just thinking.
I mean, do you think this is too much for you to do again next year?
Not like it's too much. I'm just thinking if you want to extend your work, I'm available. It's not so much at all. It's just once a month. I was just thinking if you want to, carry out the study in another place while Cameroon remains our major ground.
I'm always up for doing a cohort anywhere in the whole world, anywhere. So,
Okay.
yes, I mean, if there's someone who you've come in contact with who's in another part of Africa or even the country, wherever, and you think they would be a good fit, I mean, I think you know what to look for in a facilitator because you are one, and you know what the demands are. Now that you're in the thick of it, I think you know who to look for, what type of person this person needs to be.
Uh-huh.
And if so, feel free to have them reach out to me or tell me their name and I can reach out to them, whatever you think.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
But here I'm steadily available.
Okay, good. All right, cool. Good. The whole key
Steadily
is
available
the
as long as the research goes on, as long as we want to work, or as long as we have other people.
hmm Do you think you'll stay in Bomenda?
I'm never going to go anywhere. This is my
Oh.
home.
Well, I wasn't sure. Everything that's been going on there, and I don't know. People leaving and all of that. I wasn't sure if it was something that you and your husband had considered.
No,
That's
no, no,
all.
no, no. We've never thought of leaving. A lot of people are gone, but we are just here. We have God as our ultimate security.
Mhm.
Sometimes we say running away can just be running to trouble, running into something worse.
Okay.
So we stay here.
All right, because I was asking for the other reason was, always thinking about the organization of Mercy Seed Outreach and how it can grow. We've kind of I feel like we maybe have not lost track of where we need to be with that. I feel like this program has almost incorporated itself as Mercy Seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't really explain it. It's just that I know that.
It is because what Mercy Seed as an entity intended to do. You are part of Mercy Seed, and what we intended to do. If you look through our objectives, we are doing that.
Mhm.
The sponsorships, the trainings, the counseling, and health. Maybe you can visit our objectives again, and you'll find all of that in it.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I looked at all that, and it feels like it's just like this program has morphed into Mercy Seed, and Mercy Seed has morphed into the program. Um, but I don't want to forget about the sustainable blocks, which will really sustain, Mercy Seed and all of its objectives moving forward. So I just want you to know that I haven't forgotten about those, and I'm always aware of them. And there's actually two organizations that I've written down and I want to look at. One of which is in regards to generating electricity, and one is in regards to generating clean water. So,
Wow.
well, the struggle there is what your country is in. It's in this civil war, this unrest, and it's not stable. And I'm not so sure that companies will come into an unstable environment. And then I just read on the news that President Trump has basically rescinded any help, so to speak, with the area of Cameroon because of all of the human
Abuse.
all the human abuse that's going on. So I just read that this morning, and I was like, oh crap, So that concerns me as well.
It's good news to us. It's good news to us living in this area of unrest because the government is so nonchalant about solving a crisis that has been for 3 years. And when they keep having support from the U.S. and other big organizations in the world, they think that they're doing right. Nobody can do anything to them. So when they have such shocks, it will be good for them to sit down and do a proper dialogue.
Okay.
Because the governor has been told to dialogue with the separatists, dialogue with those fighting for independence, because the war has been terrible. But the president over there in French Cameroon seems not to care about it, seems not to call for the right people for the dialogue. So America has been saying go in for an all-inclusive dialogue without preconditions. And he has been too stubborn and the war has persisted. So when they call off the support, he might think, right, they will not use the monies to buy arms, to do this, to keep killing without impunity, or killing with impunity. So it's really good news to us.
Okay.
But for humanitarian organizations, this is the best time they are working here. Like the United Nations, the Martin Luther Funds, a lot of organizations are coming in to the Northwest and Southwest. because when people are in war, civil unrest, there are a lot of needs. Houses have been burned down, there are street people, they are internally displaced, people depend on charity organizations to get food like rice and so on.
Okay. So, I had mentioned some water purification tablets, and I'm wondering, I'm sure we can get some monies released for them if you think that will be helpful. I just don't know, how much money or what or anything like that, or if it's even doable. I mean, I know you said that you thought it was a good idea, but is it a feasible idea? Something that can be implemented if we release monies to you and the group, or?
Well, those water purification tablets are very difficult to find. They were given by an organization called Plan International, and it's as if they bought directly from the company there in America, and the company shipped them here. So I've not come across a store where they sell them, and if they happen to sell them, they're very expensive.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me? Okay, so it's from Plan International, you said?
Yeah, Plan International is an organization that works with children.
Okay.
Child protection organization. They gave that out, and they happened to come to our home and also gave us.
Okay. So they are located in your country, or they're kind of located they just kind of go out into the communities?
It's like it's a US based organization that works all over Africa.
Okay.
You could just check up for Plan International.
Okay. Let me check on that. Is there any specific kind of water tablets, or
There should be many kinds of water tablets. The one I had here was Oasis.
can you just send me a picture of that when we're done talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when we're done, I'm going to send it.
Okay. I'm going to see if this is something that someone over in Ronnie's world, so to speak, can maybe talk to them. Being a medical school, perhaps they would have a better chance of contacting them directly to say, listen, there's a cohort here that we're working with. Can we release or get some water tablets for them? And I don't know anything about these, so you'll forgive me for not knowing. How many if you have a package of water tablets, how long will that last you?
The tablet, the one I have here can, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50 tablets, and a tablet can purify 5 liters of water.
Okay. So if you have one packet of 50, how long will that last you?
That's going to last depending on the how you drink water and how you use water. I'm going to check that after.
Okay.
That's just going to be 50 times 5 liters.
Yeah. I mean, do you drink 1 liter a day? Like a family drinks 1 liter a day, would you think, or?
A family can drink 3 liters a day.
Okay.
Okay, the one I have here is produced in the UK.
Okay. Produced in UK. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna see if Ronnie wants to take this over, or Olivia, with contacting them and all of that, and see. Um, I'll ask them both and see what they say. I'll check into the organization.
One of the greatest challenge we have, like you already know, is shipping.
Mm-hmm.
You may have a little package like this, and the amount they tell you to ship is quite discouraging.
Right, but
That's
I know. I mean, there's so much I would ship to y'all if shipping costs weren't so horrible. But I'm wondering, since this organization is already in Africa and they're set up, they're obviously, you know, getting these tablets there. So it's already in place, you know, with shipping, and they're doing that. And my position would be that they not only supply the tablets, but they would ship them free of charge or for a minor fee. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm gonna shoot for. So we'll see. And you know, I mean, I would hope that that might alleviate a lot of issues that you all are having. You know, with needing clean water.
okay, ma'am.
I mean, that's, to me, this is just a short term fix. You know, ultimately, you want to be able to have some clean water. Now, let me ask you this: do you have clean water in the other part, the French-speaking part of Cameroon?
As far as Cameroon is concerned, we just believe that we drink poison.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's no good water anywhere. Apart from, for example, in my environment, there's somebody that has donated free water to my immediate community, to my environment, to a household of about 50 households. So he dug something, drilled it right from down, and put it on a tank and connected it out of his gate, and people can fish free of charge.
Right. And where is that located?
It's located here in Alakuma, where I live, but that's just only here. A few rich people do that to give free water to their environment.
So then, is that water good or not good?
We consider it good because there are no chemicals. It's drilled right about 50 to 100 meters beneath the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and pulled up.
So, so whoever lives in that area has access to good water.
Yes.
But, you know, how many of those drills, you know, are in the country of Cameroon?
Well, quite difficult
Yeah.
to find.
Yeah.
Quite difficult because in the whole of Bamenda you can find 2 or 3, and that's only where an individual decides to bless his community with water.
Well, at some point there might be a, you know, we might want to brainstorm about thinking about how to share that water a little bit further than, you know what I mean? I would almost think you could create some kind of innovative way to distribute that water. But, you know, that's something we can address later. Yeah. Okay.
But the major concern is that the water he gives is pulled up by electricity, so it consumes a lot of electricity too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. So then, how is overall, just generally speaking, how is the group's mental and physical health?
Well, everybody seems to be sound, apart from Cynthia, who is always somehow. Cynthia is not emotionally healthy.
Okay. And the rest of the group is physically well. I mean, I saw several things where people were not, feeling well, and I know there's an issue with Rafina, and her child, but she's on medication.
Mm-hmm.
But and I know she's on medication now. Is there anybody who needs anything, any kind of medical treatment?
Yeah, that should be Rufina because she's living in very terrible conditions. And if we could reimburse what she spent, that will help her to buy food and other things for the baby.
Okay, so then what you sent to me were receipts, correct? And the amount were on them, right?
Yeah, that's what she spent, but I've not checked on the child yet.
Okay. Let me.
Or I've checked if it's responding to treatment.
Okay. Do you wanna check with her before I submit the other things and for reimbursement, money, financial reimbursement from Ronnie, or so that if there is anything else for the child, will you do it all at once?
Better.
Okay.
It's better to check.
Okay.
Because, those drugs could help. Well, let me just go, and since she does not live very far, let me see how the child is.
Okay, and then you let me know, and then I'll submit those. I don't think there'll be an issue with reimbursing her. So as long as and I don't have them in front of me, but as long as the money's as long as the money that was spent and what she spent it on was in with what you gave me, then I don't need anything else in regards to Rafina. But check, let me know with the child. I didn't realize those were just for her. I thought they included both of her and her child.
No, those were just for the child.
Okay. They were just for the child then, or?
No, just those were drugs she bought for the child.
Okay, so
They
drugs.
Lab tests and other things.
Okay, all right. So they were for the baby. So what about her? She does not look well at all.
She's malnourished. That should be all.
Okay.
Not living under good conditions. She's really, like I told you, I sometimes give her food and so on.
Mm-hmm. And I know she's staying in that place with that man for shelter. Does he not provide for her in any other way, like food-wise?
Well, that's a struggling guy who really does not have something doing.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in a room, their bed, pots, everything inside. I've been there.
Mm.
So I actually took her number. I got to her through the boy, so I know the boy.
Mm-hmm. Does she have? I don't know if I have her dream. Let me check. She when I look at her, I just see just such hopelessness and just such despair in her face and her eyes.
Yes, yes. You saw well. You have good eyes.
Okay, I didn't know if I was reading her correctly because sometimes pictures are they tell the story and sometimes they don't. So.
Yeah. And like you said, my pictures don't.
All right, I'm just gonna look her up. I just want to see what I have for her, Rafina. Oh shoot, wrong one. Sorry. Just give me a second here. This one. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Rafina here. It says that her dream was to become a tailor. You think that still works?
Yeah.
Yes?
That's what she said, and I think it's good. Though she's young and intelligent too.
Mm-hmm.
If we had an opportunity, I would prefer that at 17 she should be going to school, but now that schools are not even regular and the baby is there, she could just go into tailoring and secure something for herself.
Okay. So she is not one of the. So she's not a candidate, so to speak, for school at this time.
At this time, she had wanted to go to school, but things are not really the best. So let her just going for tailoring and see how she can help herself in future.
Mm-hmm. Are there, like, how do you get into tailoring? Are there classes that she would attend, or how would you do that?
You are taken to the shop, you write an agreement with the trainer, and you could pay monthly. You could pay monthly or yearly.
Do you know how much that costs?
It's I'm going to find out how much they do it, but I think 10,000 francs, which is less than what can do for a month.
10,000 francs per month. You're thinking?
Yeah, 10,000 francs can be like between $20, something like that.
What would she do with the baby when she went and did this? Do you know?
Barbara used to go with her baby, so she will have to carry the baby and keep her. She needs to fight hard to secure something for herself and that child.
Yeah.
If not, things will be terrible.
Because
now that a child.
Mm-hmm. Can you?
That child. And I was so afraid when I saw the child, eyes wide, she too was very wide, nothing seems to move, and I don't want a situation where the child can get worse and something bad happens.
Mm-hmm.
And if she is sure of learning something, she'll be that can raise hope.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, nearly everybody in the group now has hope. If you listen to Faith said, made an expression, a very unusual expression. She said she was happier than God for going to school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
So we had, yeah.
Alright, let me just get back to my session here. How is Brendaline?
Brendaline is fine. She used to go to school, to one salon to learn how to plait and to do hair. Mm-hmm. And she did not have the money to pay there, and so she left. So I was teaching her to read and write. She started reading. Then when I traveled to mobilize down there, when I came back, she said she went and begged the woman that she would just be learning and look for the money in future. So the woman accepted.
Oh, that's awesome. So she's going to go to the salon and to continue to learn.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is she like in the same kind of program that Barbara was in?
Yeah, just hairdressing, so that she can. She's going there. It's just that we could not set up our own place. If we had our own, she would have been learning there, and a lot of others.
Mm-hmm.
Like Florence is not going to school. She has attached herself to one salon too.
So Florence is going to vocational training.
Yeah.
For hairdressing.
So the money Rani gives her, she transports herself and pays a little there, and the father also helps her from the village.
That's awesome. Now, what about school? Is that something that Florence, it's out of question right now for Florence because of where she lives? Or, has Florence, is getting an education out of the question for her right now?
Well, I really preferred education for her, but there's no school around her. If she has to go to a school, it will be expensive because she will need transportation. She will need um, a lot of other things. So I think that she should concentrate in the hairdressing.
Okay.
So that when she's done, we could instead support her to buy a dryer, buy some few things, and she'll be done in 1 year. If she were to go into school, she'll go to school for 3 years and more.
So for hairdressing, she'll be done in 1 year.
Yeah, she'll be done in 1 year. So the only thing she'll need is a dryer, some few things to set up her salon.
Okay.
And that will give her financial independence.
Now, just getting back to Brenda Lee, though, so it's the same monies
Yeah.
that it cost for Barbara, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's same thing, but the difference is that Barbara went for a shorter time.
And so, did you feel like she's pretty secure with this, with the woman allowing her, is still teaching her, and she will then be paid back afterward?
Well, she only told me that she begged the woman and the woman accepted. So those are desperate steps that require desperate moves. So sitting in the house was not paying nothing to, so she thought of let her get some handwork that will help her in future.
Okay. Now getting back to now Faith. Faith is, first she was with her uncle, then she wasn't with her uncle, now she's with her uncle. Do we have a good feel, do we really, who is she with, family-wise?
Like I told you from the very beginning, Faith was, when we were looking for Faith, there was a time Faith was missing. We could not hear from her. During that time, she left where she was taking care of that baby. We didn't know where she went to until Jacqueline started looking for her and found her somewhere with that man. And the only thing we were told was that Faith was now living with her uncle. So after a while, you said she can be put on that monthly sustainability fee. We placed her on that, knowing that she's living with her uncle, so that she would not be trafficked away from there.
Correct.
Yeah, that's why we kept her on that, and I think that fee also kept her here in Bamenda, so that she shouldn't go to, because they intended sending her further to Douala for domestic servitude. So because of Mercy Seat and because of the support, she said she was not going anywhere. They said they were going to pay her transport and send her off to somebody in Douala. She vowed not to go. So after some time, we thought that I should know where Faith lives. So I went about looking for where she lives. With that phone, that was the day I was going to give her a phone. Remember, I took a picture of her at their home.
Yes.
So when I got there, I met the man. So the man, Faith told me, Mom, meet my uncle. So I knew they were really uncles. So when I sat down with the man was like, Faith, like this. Faith goes to church every now and then. Faith disappears from the house to church. I knew that those complaints were not very important. But I was listening to the man just to, make him feel at ease. So Faith is often out to church. So I've told Faith never to go to church and stuff like that. Then I asked him, well, how are you related to Faith? He said, I really don't know how I'm related to Faith, but I'm somehow related to Faith's father. my father is somehow related to Faith's father, so I cannot tell how related I am to Faith. So from there, I noticed that he was not an immediate uncle to Faith, like a mother's brother or a father's brother. And that somebody brought Faith to her, to him rather. So when Faith left from where she was nursing that baby, from the teacher who trafficked her from her village, when she left from there, that was a step of her freedom. That was freedom. Because the direct trafficker had lost control of her. So she now went to one woman who was still from their village. She used to work with that woman. The woman would pay her 15,000 francs, and she would take that money and go and save somewhere with one woman. And after a while, that woman decided to hand Faith to this man who is now called his uncle. So I cannot really define what it is, since here in Africa we have extended relatives that we still consider as family. But I'm not able to define how he's related to Faith. And I'm also I was not also comfortable with the fact that the man is a Muslim and trying to force or lure Faith into Islam, which she had rejected. If you look at her receipts, the receipt that I sent to you, the school fees receipt I paid, the names on that receipt are Muslim names. Faith is a name that she picked up by herself. She said her name is Faith. She's a Christian, and she does not want to have anything to do with Islam. So there have been that tussle in that house, Let her marry a Muslim at 14. Let her do this. Let her stop going to church. She's going out. They don't know where she's going to. The uncle told me all of that. And some of those mystical things that she got burned on the chairs over the night. And the uncle said, I told you to stop going to church, and you continue, and that's why you got burned. So after that, I resolved that I will not go to that house again. I was looking for a way to pull her out of there, to meet a pastor so that we can give a secure place at church. But I could not get to the pastor. So when I could not get to the pastor, the man was not comfortable with the fact that Faith is receiving monies from you. How did Faith get to know you? I think Faith mentioned that one time. And that they are asking that, why are you giving her money? How did she know you? And stuff like that. Which is the group? And that too came to an end. So when I finally spoke again with the uncle concerning money, the uncle proposed that he would have preferred that money should be given back to Faith's mother in the village. That's what the Muslim man told me. And that Faith has a suffering mother in the village, and Faith has no use for that money and so on. I didn't say anything to him. I just told Faith, I said, Faith, that money is for you. You may need pads, you may need your pants, you may need little things, toothpaste, toothbrush, and things like that. You may need anything as a woman. So keep the money. Your mother does not need that money. You are the one who needs that money. Your mother is responsible. So Faith was keeping that money in one account we call mobile money. Mobile money is an account that you create with your phone number. So when Faith receives the money, right there in the meeting, she sends them into a mobile money account. Or sometimes, if I cannot find her, or if I want to send her something, I'll send it directly into a mobile money account. So that money has been with her, and it has kept her going. That's what has been sustaining her all this while. Then when Jackie finally, after the there's another period, this last period that we're looking for her and could not find her, I sent Jacqueline to go there. When Jacqueline got there, Faith's uncle was giving complaints about that church stuff again. Faith is always going to church. Faith is this. Faith is that. And the complaints were not had no weight. So I said I knew why the man was complaining. So Faith, I asked Faith, would you want to leave the house? Faith said, the man has not done me anything wrong. I cannot just leave like that. And again, we are not sorted out where she could leave to. Then my husband was also proposing that Faith could come to me. So when I presented it to Faith that we want you to leave that place, Faith said, well, let me wait a little. He has not done me anything wrong. Stuff like that. And finally, when I talked to Faith to go to Cynthia, Faith said, no, after you send that money for Faith's fees, after they paid Faith's school fees, the uncle became very, very happy. I don't know what provoked that happiness. He became very happy. He said he thought that Faith was wasting her time in one group somewhere. He thought that it was not going to pay off. He thought it's one useless gathering. So he's very happy and very excited that Faith is now going to school. And he also thought that Faith would demand that he pays her fees. He's happy that he's not responsible for the fees, and it's a good thing that Faith is going to school. And that he will never allow Faith to leave his house. And that whatever he did to Faith in the past was out of some stupid anger. And that Faith should forgive him for ever speaking rudely to her.
So, do you believe him?
That's from Faith. Oh.
Yeah.
That's from Faith.
Yeah, oh, I know. I'm just saying, do you believe, she believes him? Do you believe that like, he could change like that?
Well, I really don't know. Maybe the excitement of the child just growing. I would have wanted Faith to still live. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking of a good opportunity that will prepare her living. Mm-hmm. She cannot just sit one morning, everything is good, and she picks her bag. God will set an atmosphere for her to live.
So, do you think she needs this extra money every month still, or not?
She needs it, Mom. I think she needs it. Though it was a good thing that the last one was given to Cynthia. Mm-hmm. Cynthia has been in a serious need. But I think what you said was the best, making it 20 each for both of them.
Okay.
Because since she's going to school, that can help her take a bike. If she needs something like a pen or whatever, she'll buy with it. If we leave her completely empty, she might be weak. Mm-hmm. Somehow weak.
Yeah. So
it's a kind of child that you never know when she's never moved with anything. For example, when I was giving money the last session to Cynthia and to Florence, she said nothing. She did not ask anything. She did not even say, why was mine not giving? She was just laughing like you saw her laughing like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. So we gave her no reasons for our money not coming.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you think I should still give it to her because out of need, then I will. I mean, when you said that he, I know you said that, all of a sudden he was happy that she was going to school. I was paying for it and stuff. So I didn't know if anything had changed in regards to her needs. Was he then taking care of whatever she needed? Did she really need the money or not? So I'll bow to whatever you think.
That's another thing. Another thing is maybe if she has enough food in the house and this and that, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna give you $40 this month for December, and it's gonna be for Faith and Cynthia, and you make a determination if it should be 10, 30, 25. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to say that Faith and Cynthia, Faith lives in a family house where food is provided there. She eats. She's not the one who goes to the market to buy the food. The only thing she does is she can dry clean, she can cook, so she has no problem with food. And her fees have been settled. But Cynthia lives alone. She fends completely for herself, her rent, her food, everything, and her fees have not yet been paid. So if we make up for Cynthia, it will be better.
Oh, I mean, I'll go with whatever you think. So, are you saying I should give her? Are you saying I should give nothing to Faith and 25 to Cynthia, or nothing to Faith and 40 to Cynthia? You know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking that we should give 25 to Cynthia and 5 to Faith for a period of time. It can change.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, it can change. At one point when I know that Cynthia is getting stable, we can move to another person, or we can reach out to any other person that need.
All right, well, I'm still going to give you 40. So you'll take the $10 and put it toward her, her tuition or her education or whatever she needs for school. Okay?
Yes, Mom.
And if something changes with Faith, we can just go back to, 2020 or whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out at that point.
Or I can take the 40 for this month and completely give it to Cynthia.
Oh, you haven't given it to him yet? The money, that's right. You just picked it up. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you.
No, I gave them already. I mean the 40 for the month, for this month of November.
You mean when I give you the money in November, that money is actually for December. That's what you're talking about?
I really don't know. When I just get it that same month, I give it out. Like the one I had last month, I already dispersed it during the meeting. I give monies on the days of the meeting.
Yeah. So
the next meeting, which is 23rd, if I have money on the 23rd,
yep,
I'll know exactly what to do with the money.
So the thing is that I need to keep track of this because of my accounting at the end of the year. So I don't care what you do with. I mean, if you give 40 to Cynthia, that's fine. I just need the sustainability reports, those sheets, just to reflect accurately with those monies. That's all. Just because at the end of the year, I've got quite a bit of. This is going to be a nightmare for me. But, it is. I can't even tell you. But as long as I have receipts, I'm good, and it can be figured out. It's not your fault. It's my fault for not doing it sooner, really, than, like as we did it. So as long as the receipts reflect what I've doing, that's all that matters. Yeah.
Hello, Mom.
Yeah, I'm here. So whatever you think.
I'll say, let me really know. It's just that whenever monies are given out, I make sure they sign and I send that back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they sign before they collect the money, or when they collect, they sign what they have collected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's for total accountability, because we will need to file them too.
Yeah. All right, so when I give you the 40 in November, you just let me know how you've divvied it up, if at all, with Faith. I mean, does Faith need just $5? Does she walk to school? Does she have to be does she need monies for transportation to school? Or, I don't know any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And same for Cynthia, actually,
Yeah. Well, the main thing we have plan is if we happen to pay Cynthia's, if we happen to keep her on that, she'll go through her education.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll go through. Yeah. The Faith's case is already settled.
So Cynthia, you're still. I know you said you were going to take care of her education. Where does that stand? Have you had to pay? Do you pay monthly, or what do you do in regards to that?
Yeah, I'm going to pay in block, but the concern I have is her rent and her feeding.
Okay. How much is her rent?
Her rent is about, do I really know? It's about 10,000 francs, which is less than $20.
Okay.
Less than 20.
All right. And then food. So do you think she'll be okay? I mean, at least I'll take care of, then she should be okay with what I'm giving her?
Yeah, she will have to. She will
Okay.
have to.
All right.
Yeah, she has to.
What did she think about getting, her fee this last month when you saw her? Was she okay? She was happy? Did it give her a little relief?
No, I didn't speak with her. I only told her that I'm going to see into it, but there's still time. But she got relief when she received the sustainability fee. She was happy.
Oh, good. It says she's having a toothache, and I never thought to ask you. I always ask about hospital and doctors, but I never asked you about dental for any of the cohort members.
I gave her a toothpaste that could help relieve the pain, but I don't know how it's going. The pain is still there. And the gastric ulcer she's complaining of is the kind of life she's living. Pain, sorrow, hunger, and all of that.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see with the monies coming in if that'll kind of settle itself, with, being able to eat at a more consistent level. Maybe that'll take care of that, So do the cohort members have readily available toothpaste, toothbrushes, that sort of thing?
No, I only gave to Cynthia. So I'm sure they have something like that.
Okay. All right. So, if her tooth gets worse, she, will want to see if we can provide some dental care, I guess, for her.
I've also reached out with food and monies, just like I reached out to Rufina. Yeah, last month I gave her some food stuff, gave her some money.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Let me go to my next one here. Hold on. Recap. All right, so in regards to the EQI, nobody had anything really negative to say about it, huh?
Yeah, there was nothing negative.
Cool. All right. I was surprised a little. Well, it's
yeah, that was yeah. I also got surprised. They liked it and they had an idea of what it is like. So the program is a very, very good program. If the little transportations and stuff, when it's not difficult, if we have to include other people, we have a quota of about 50 to 20. It's just that the fact for those who drop out, we decided to maintain this one. If not, there are more other people who are willing to join.
It doesn't surprise me, but it just, I guess I don't want to say it surprises me, Um, and I guess it amazes me, or not even, I don't even know, except to say that these ladies have been through all this crap, and yet they kind of understand and they grasp the importance of the EQI. I find that to be, I guess, fascinating because of everything that they've been through, and they don't even have a problem doing it. I mean, I really thought they'd be saying things like, I really don't understand, it's not helping, it's 133 questions, we have to do this, 3 times. And I don't know, I was just anticipating that we would have a little bit of pushback from it, and we didn't really seem to have any pushback, which I thought was amazing.
Not even one, and they're still ready for the next one.
It's amazing. I really can't wait to pull the EQIs and see where they're at. It's always exciting to do that. You will. I do need at some point a summary or a recap or something from you in regards to the EQIs, so that I know which questions seem to be hard, and whether it was like, was it just one person who maybe didn't understand grammar, or do you know what I mean? Maybe they were young or whatever, or was it that the whole group really It's
not like the questions that a question can be difficult to me. It can be difficult to one of them, and they just throw it to the floor. I don't understand question this.
Mm-hmm.
So I break it down. I just break it. I bring it to pidgins, simple, normal, day-to-day English, so they can understand.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, the answer it.
Maybe if you could just, in the future, unless you know off the bat, just give me a simple listing of the numbers that they had.
Okay.
You had to basically bring it into. Give them a little bit more information so that they would understand how to answer it. I think that would be advantageous. I have the same thing. There are certain questions that people get right away, and other ones they're like, wait a second. And I think some of it has to do with the fact that there's the same questions being asked in a different way. And sometimes my students are like, but I feel like I just answered this. Why are they asking it again? And so I'm wondering if that's happening, and the answer to that is just for consistency. They want to make sure that you're answering consistently the same type of question that's asked in a few different ways, and that's where the consistency is with it.
And to tell you they understand the questions, they are the very ones who tell me these things are repeating in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
They have noticed that there are the same questions in some places repeating in different words and different ways.
And all that does is, like, at the end of the when I get the run the report for them, it'll tell me if their questions have been consistently answered or if they're inconsistent. And if they're inconsistent, the report will tell me which questions they were inconsistent in, which means usually what it means is they just didn't understand the question, or they just needed some background. And usually I have the opportunity to talk to someone and say, well, you said sometimes here, but on this question, which means the same thing, you said rarely, so can you kind of explain that to me? And sometimes there's a story behind it, and they kind of interpret the questions a little bit differently. And my goal is to just make sure that they understand that they're not being inconsistent. I mean, so there's usually like a little bit of a story behind it. So yeah, it is true. They ask the same questions over and over again in different ways in certain groups, categories of questions. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And actually, maybe what I'll do is I did a chart. Are you there? Are you there? Hello?
Yeah.
I did a chart which shows you every single question and which questions relate to, for example, self-regard. Did you hear me? You probably didn't get that. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
I think we're
Yes.
I'll send it to you, and explain it and explain it because it'll be interesting for you to understand basically the background of each question and how each question relates to each subscale. Like self-regard, there's like, I don't know, 6 questions that have to do with self-regard. There's 6 or 7 questions that have to do with stress tolerance, and it's interesting to see those the questions that relate to those subscales. So I'll go ahead and send it to you, just so you can get a background. But I'm wondering if we're maybe getting at the end of this phone call, if we keep getting disconnected. I don't know. Do I have any other questions? Do you have any questions for me?
Not really.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to read through your recap, and then from there, I'm going to put together another session, and I'll probably, I'm not sure where it'll go. I'm not going to say what's going to be up on the next agenda. I'm gonna just get a feel for, after reading your recap, to see where we need to move forward, going from here, unless you have something specific, something like you feel like you'd like to address. Is there anything?
I don't think so. If I happen to remember, I'll write you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm specific.
Okay, because I think we've covered, happiness, stress tolerance. I think we've covered a lot of things enough, which I know you agreed with. So I don't know. I'm gonna go through this, and then I'll put something together, and you can let me know what you think of it. And how does that sound?
That'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else I can help you with? Is there anything you need?
Not now.
You sure? Anything you need? Any medical issues or anything? You think you're going to be good to go after this round of treatment?
I'm hoping so. Though they still told me to come back to the hospital and I've taken over 2 weeks.
Just for a checkup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back.
Well, that's good. That's normal. I think that's a good thing. Anything else? Any other challenges or anything you need to talk through?
Nothing. I was just afraid when I got too many pains on my body, that thing growing. I didn't know. Anybody who looks at it will say, oh, this could be a cancer, and that was stressing me too much.
Yeah. Well, you know that you're good to go. You're basically a bit malnourished yourself when it comes to the vitamin B. And so your vitamins,
Yeah.
it's important to take. If you're not getting it with the food that you take, you got to take supplements of vitamins. I'm wondering if even vitamins would be good for the group.
Well, Mom, it's really unfortunate that some of the things people have over there, we don't have them here. That's why I always end up crying about shipping.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people over there stay healthy on supplements, but here, if I enter a shop where they say American products to buy some kind of supplement for women or for this, for that, it will be very expensive. You might not even find it.
Can you?
And when you find it, it will be expensive.
even if you go online, what about if you go online to some of those online websites? Do they sell supplements or vitamins like that one that we had looked at before, where we got um, your external hard drive or whatever, that charger?
No, they mostly sell electronics. I don't think there are vitamins there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You know, everyone talks about, good clean water, the necessity for electricity, and they talk about needing good health care. But I never hear anyone talking about the importance of vitamins. You know,
That should be why we are getting sick on daily basis, legs paining, back aching, everywhere.
yeah, your bones. You have to have proper immunity support and proper bone support. I'm gonna throw that to Ronnie and see what she says, or see if there's something they can think of in regards to that. But yeah, so I'm gonna look at that as well as the water thing and the electricity thing. I don't know what this electricity thing is about, but I saw like a quick little commercial on it,